Take two, because the first video even I started to nod off listening to it. So this is going to be a much quicker version. This is our house and our garden. I'm just going to walk you through the garden and that's it. No talking about plants, just a basic explanation of where the house is and what you can see. So this is our neighbor's land. This fence was put in 3 years ago, and before that it was a grass verge. So when they took away the grass verge, they built in a fence. We didn't have to pay for it. It was nothing to do with us, and we had no say on it whatsoever. So originally my husband just wanted to concrete it over and make the parking area even wider, but I insisted on making a border. And this is the border now. I'm just going to walk you down without stopping to look at any of the plants. We put in just round kind of curbing. That's all we put in, because a lot of the people who bring their students to my school are grandmothers and grandfathers, and they often have problem reversing. We didn't want them to scratch the cars. I was much more worried about that than making nice, pretty raised beds. So for the moment, this is what we've got all the way down here. And then it kind of goes right through the length of the new fence. There is a house on this side, and if you look over, our house on this side. So the next area has a lot more shade. I think the lemon tree just gets enough sun. It's just not quite in that shade. So this is the second flower area. Comes down here. And then there's a slight partition here. And then on this bed is for vegetables. I'm still trying to work out what grows best. I had tomatoes in here at the beginning of the season, and I'm going to put onions. I realized last year the onions worked really well down here, so I'm going to put onions down here very soon, in the next month or so. Originally, there was a canvas tent here that had a bicycle in and all sorts of rubbish. I managed to persuade my husband to get rid of the canvas tent, and now I'm going to swing you around. We have this storage unit at the side of the house behind the classroom. So we took everything that was in the canvas tent and put it in here. And there's parking for my car, so we need this area for parking. And so eventually this is going to be a new bed. I'm just trying to prep the soil now. It's basically dead soil. There's no worms. There's not even any roots really in there. There's just nothing. So it's going to be a bit of a job. But it's quite exciting to have somewhere new to plant up to. And the fence goes around here. If you see, there's a gap here. Fun. It's a good job we don't have small kids. And we have a tree. This is a Kinmokusei. I think it's an orange blossom. It has a lovely, lovely scent in the autumn. And an ajisai, and then we have a gardenia at the back. These were all just basically planted in the rubbly soil. So eventually this is all going to be one big new bed. If I spin you around, you can see the length of the driveway. You can fit 5 cars down here to give you some sort of idea of how long it is. And then if I come round and swing you round again, this is the lovely electric poles that we have. We can't do anything about. When we moved in 18 years ago, we had them moved slightly to the side. But this is as far as they can go. It's a bit ugly, terrible, but I have to work around them. I've actually seen someone with a clematis growing up one, which looked quite promising, but I'm not sure I can make that work. Anyway, next to the verbena, we have the blueberry bed. It was originally made for raspberries, but it was far too sunny here, and this is before I learned about shade cloth. So now I have my blueberries in here, and they are doing really, really well. The shade cloth has made such a difference this year in here. So I'm gonna have to, when I take the shade cloth off, I'm gonna have to work out how to prune those blueberry bushes. I also have some basil in here, and I've also a holding place for some plants that I've bought that I'm just waiting for it to rain before I put them out. The back of the garden at the moment is an unused rice fields. I have a rose and a clematis here. And then this was the first bed we ever made. My car's kind of in the way, but it goes down here. So this stretch has lots of lovely things to look at. This is what I want to be, like a fiery poppy border, and it looks brilliant in the summer, but now it's the end of the season, so there's not that much to look at. Right, continuing on the tour, take you past my car. I have a Mexican sage that is out of control. And then the back border, this is the north facing border, is mainly hosta. And then there's lots of bulbs in here in the spring. The rest, these big things you can see coming out, is something called myoga, which is a Japanese, it's a bit like ginger, and you use it for topping topping dishes and things like that. I'm trying to move them out. It's one of the few things my husband wants in the garden, but it's kind of taking over, as I was warned. So last year I asked him to pot it up, but unfortunately the container didn't do as well as the actual garden. So I don't think I'm going to keep it in. Right, moving on, this is the back of the house. It's where we have the gas cylinders. They come and change regularly. The back steps that we don't really use apart from accessing the carpet. We go through here and you come through to my gardening area. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll just show you what it looks like. And if you look again, the house next door is again very near, and they're not really doing anything to their garden either, which I don't really blame them. They have small children. So this is the back area. Strawberries, ginger, which is a bit of a thing of pride. It's doing really, really well. There's 6 stems coming up now on most of the plants. We're quite near the road. So as you can see, the garden just kind of goes around the house. Here is another strawberry bed, my asparagus bed. I have some tomatoes that are growing up the plum tree. And this is one of the very first things we put in when we built the house. It's way too near the house, but it gives us a big crop of sweet plums every year. And then I'll just turn around so you can see the vegetable plot on the other side. Try and do it slowly. Still trying to get hang of this. So that's what the vegetable plot looks like, and that's my compost bin. And if you move back, so it's not big. It's quite a small Japanese garden, but for most, considerably bigger than most people's gardens if they've built a new house. Probably a little bit smaller than established farm gardens or people who farm and have gardens with their houses here. So that's the plum tree, and then I come around again. You can see under the plum tree. That's under the plum tree, and then we go into the lawn, the front of the house. This is the front of the house. This is mainly shrubs in here. I've been trying to turn it into more of a shrub-based garden. I actually spent quite a long time in here in the autumn last year, putting in some shade-loving plants that are desperately waiting for the shade to come back. It's been quite hot over summer. And we goes around here. So the house, the garden itself is a very weird shape and it's a wraparound. So actually when they put in that fence and we got rid of our grass verge, we got a lot more garden. So, and the garden is only 3 years old, so it's still very much a work in progress. This is the most established part of the garden. Just turn you around so you can get an idea of what it looks like. And when you go around that corner, that's where the vegetable place is. This is eventually, I'm hoping, is going to be a deck here. I've been saying that for 18 years, but I'm getting quite a bit closer now to getting that deck that I want. And then if we go around here, we come back to the main parking area and my new bed. And here we are. That's where the post comes in. And we're back at the main bed. So you can see the main bed, it's only 3 years old. I think it's doing okay. A lot of the things I put in here were just transplants from other parts of the garden, things that I divided up. But it really, still a work in process totally. So this is the front of our house. That's my classroom entrance, and this is our front door. And if I just open this door, you'll see where I normally make my recordings after I've been in the garden. There is my area where we take our shoes off. And that's a wrap.